In an age of drones, smart munitions, and satellite-guided artillery, does the tank still matter? That's the question being tested in Ukraine, where modern armored warfare is undergoing its most intense real-world examination in decades. On one side, we have the battle-proven Soviet-era T-72B3, a rugged, no-frills war machine. On the other, the high-tech Western juggernaut, the American M1 Abrams, built with cutting-edge armor and targeting systems. But on the modern battlefield, technology alone doesn't guarantee survival. So, what happens when brute force meets precision? When mass production faces off against elite firepower? The T-72B3 and M1 Abrams weren't just built differently. They were designed with entirely different doctrines in mind. This war has become a living lab for those questions, and it's revealing both the strengths and the shortcomings of two of the world's most iconic main battle tanks. Let's break it down. Originally rolled out in the 1970s, the T-72 was built to be simple, cheap, and easy to produce in huge numbers. The B3 variant, introduced in the mid-2010s, brought major upgrades: a more powerful 125mm 2A46M5 smoothbore gun, thermal sights, modern fire control systems, and Contact 5 or Relict ERA for added protection. The T-72B3 uses a three-man crew thanks to an autoloader, which saves space but comes with a dangerous trade-off. Its carousel ammo storage beneath the turret is prone to the infamous jack-in-the-box effect when penetrated. With a 1,000 horsepower diesel engine and a combat weight around 45 tons, it's fast and nimble across Ukraine's varied terrain. Perhaps its biggest advantage? Affordability. At around $2 million per unit, Russia can replace them quickly, an essential trait in a war of attrition. The Abrams, fielded since 1980, follows a different philosophy, one built around survivability, superior firepower, and high-tech systems. Its advanced composite armor, layered with depleted uranium and ceramics, offers outstanding protection. The Abrams 120mm M256 smoothbore gun, paired with advanced fire control tech, including laser rangefinders, thermal sights, and onboard computers, makes it one of the most accurate tanks on the planet. It's fast too, propelled by a 1,500 horsepower gas turbine, though that comes at a cost: logistics. It burns through fuel at nearly 4 gallons per mile, which has proven to be a real headache in Ukraine's strained supply chain. And talking about price, at over $10 million per tank, the Abrams is an elite asset, but one that's costly to lose and complex to maintain. So how do these two tanks actually perform in Ukraine's brutal and unpredictable battlefield? Russia has deployed T-72B3s extensively and adapted tactics to make the most of them. Crews use turret-down positions, keeping low behind terrain until they need to strike, and rely on drones for targeting, an innovation that's become essential for both sides. Despite suffering heavy losses, Ukraine reportedly destroyed or damaged more than 3,000 Russian tanks in 2024 alone, which a big part of the numbers must also come from the T-72 family. However, Russia keeps sending them in. The country's stockpiles and production capacity allow it to absorb losses and maintain momentum through sheer volume. And in some cases, they've proved lethal. In March 2024, a T-72B3 reportedly knocked out a Ukrainian Abrams with a single well-placed shot to the turret ring, a known weak spot. It was a reminder that even high-tech tanks are vulnerable when hit in the right place. Still, the T-72B3 is far from invincible. It remains highly vulnerable to modern anti-tank guided missiles, loitering drones, and precision artillery. The autoloader ammo layout continues to be its biggest liability, Now, let's talk about the Abrams. Ukraine's acquisition of 31 Abrams tanks brought a serious firepower upgrade, but also some real challenges. As of mid-2024, reports suggest that around 20 Abrams have already been lost. The most common killers? Kamikaze drones, artillery, and ATGMs, especially the Russian Lancet drone, which strikes from above and targets the thinner top armor. The Abrams' powerful gas turbine engine, while excellent for performance, isn't exactly battlefield-friendly in a country where fuel logistics are already stretched thin. The tank also requires specialized maintenance and tools, which Ukraine has struggled to provide on the front lines. In short, while the Abrams offers firepower and protection, it's not always the best fit for a prolonged war in rugged, infrastructure-limited environments. The clash between the T-72B3 and M1 Abrams in Ukraine shows that no tank is unbeatable. Success depends as much on how a tank is used as on what it can do on paper. Russia's use of the T-72B3 plays into its traditional doctrine: mass deployment, overwhelming numbers, and tactical flexibility. The tank isn't built to survive every fight. It's built to fight, fall, and be replaced. Ukraine, in contrast, is using the Abrams as a high-impact tool, but one that's increasingly hard to sustain. Without the right support systems, even the most advanced tank in the world can be isolated, immobilized, or taken out by a cheaper, smarter weapon. This dynamic underscores a broader shift in warfare. Drones, loitering munitions, and digital targeting are making even top-tier hardware more vulnerable than ever before. And in a war where adaptation moves faster than procurement, flexibility is key. So, what does all of this mean for the future of tanks? It's clear that while tanks still play a vital role, the rules have changed. Survivability now depends on integration with drones, electronic warfare, and real-time intelligence. Tactics are evolving faster than armor can be upgraded, and logistics, the unglamorous side of war, is shaping outcomes more than ever. Is this the twilight of the tank era, or just the beginning of its evolution? That's a question Ukraine may help answer. And whatever the outcome, the lessons learned from these tank battles will shape armored warfare for decades to come. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.